I think get the show on the road. So the attendance is out. If you are a voting senator, then you received attendance. Remember, attendance only counts if you are physically in the room. If you are watching from home, that does not count as attendance. If you are not a voting senator, make sure that you sign in on your way out the door. And I'll give everyone a second for that. All right, so welcome to November. We have one more meeting for this fall semester, and then we'll take a break until February when we will be preparing for the fall again, right? So as we go into the end of November and the last few weeks, I think we got 5 more Tuesdays after today. I was looking at the calendar trying to plan out, I know, right? I was trying to plan out the rest of my semester for my students, and I was counting my Tuesdays and Thursdays. There's 5 Tuesdays left after today. So, for me, then I'm like, oh my goodness, I want to make sure I have all these things, and then, there's Thanksgiving break, and then they're only here for a few weeks, and then they're gone again. One of the messages I always tell my students when they go away on the Thanksgiving break is to come back, right? There's 3 weeks left. Please come back. You're not done. We have to finish the things. So while the break is, it's awesome. I look forward to it every fall. It's needed. We need that rest. But also, it's, as soon as we return, you're going 100 miles an hour finishing out the semester. So just with knowing that's what's upcoming, I appreciate everybody coming today and taking part in College Senate. So yesterday was Veterans Day. I want to thank all of our faculty and staff and students that are veterans that have served, are currently serving. It's actually a larger population than I always think it is. I'm at City Campus this semester, and we were talking about it, and I have like 4 vets in one of my classes. So, obviously thank them for their service, but there's a lot of veterans among us, so thank you to all of them for their service. We're also a week out from Election Day, and I received a message that was sent by the Chancellor's office and asked to share, so I'm going to, there it is. I pull it up on the screen, but I'll read it quickly for those that cannot read the screen from home. So this is a message from Chancellor King. So, dear colleagues, I woke up this morning, as I do every morning, believing in the power of public service to strengthen the lives of our fellow Americans and the democracy that binds our nation together. I've been privileged to serve in government roles at the state and federal levels and in a national civil rights organization, and to serve at times when the country has been led by both Democratic and Republican presidents. Every bit of this varied experience leads me to believe deeply that the work we do together at SUNY matters profoundly to our students, our communities, and the nation we are and seek to be. In this moment of transition following yesterday's elections, I want to reaffirm 3 core SUNY commitments. First, SUNY and public higher education more broadly are foundational to the long-term health of our democracy. Trustee and Student Assembly President Harvey and Chancellor King visited Westchester Community College last week to talk with students about civic engagement and thank the folks working at the campus polling station. The students they met with are passionate about the importance of voting, about community service, student government, and student journalism too. Their optimism and belief in their campus community inspired Dr. King. Polling station workers were selflessly giving their time in service of our democracy and their neighbors. We must continue to engender civil discourse and prepare engaged citizens. Second, the 4 pillars driving SUNY to be the best public higher education system in the country are nonpartisan and non-negotiable. We will diligently engage partners in government at the federal, state, and local levels as we work to advance 1, student success, 2, research and scholarship, 3, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and 4, economic development and upward mobility. We will continue to advance our mission and expand access and excellence for our students. Third, while we champion free expression and seek to create spaces for healthy dialogue across difference, our institutional values are clear. At SUNY, we reject hate, bigotry, racism, sexism, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, harassment, and discrimination. At SUNY, we embrace empathy, human dignity, and mutual respect. No matter one's views or perspective about particular outcomes, elections, and heated national debates spur intense feelings. Please take care of yourselves, your loved ones, and each other. Best, John, so Dr. King, the Chancellor. I read that last week, and I thought it was just amazing and a great message from our leader at SUNY, and went out to all of the faculty governance leaders across the SUNY system, and I thought that it would be appropriate to share that with all of you today as we work together in shared governance for SUNY Erie. Okay, so with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Sagai for her President's Report.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Colleen, and thank you for bringing that up as well. Just real quick, I think just to follow up, and I do want to spend a little bit more time on enrollment under Dr. Erickson. CPD, I know there was a lot of questions about CPD, and if I may have Dr. Perty to talk a little bit about what CPD is doing, and still the process is the same. Please, Dr. Can you speak to it, please?
Good afternoon. There were a lot of concerns, questions about changes with CPD, so we've hashed that out. If you have any concerns, questions, or information regarding CPD, please contact me. You know my email. You can also send it to the CPD mailbox. Things are going to proceed as they have been. The only thing I would ask my colleagues is as we move forward, and one of the things we talked about was shared participation on our opening day and college day. So when we reach out to you with the theme for the day, please be willing to step up and lead a session, and more than that, participate in the day. If you have any questions for CPD at this time?
Thank you.
Okay, looks like you're off the hook. Thank you, Dr. Partee.
Thank you.
And just to echo what she says about opening day and all of our professional development, if we want it to be faculty focused and on topics that we find that we want to participate in, then we need to participate now and get some ideas and get presenters and all of that together now so that we can make this day what we want it to be.
Yeah, within the next couple of weeks, I will send out an email so we will know what the theme is moving forward for this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. On a different note, in terms of our South Campus, I know we send out a communication. Our GMZ partner is going to do the discussion for us on Thursday. That is to have our students. So we have the 12:30 for our students, and then the faculty and staff will be at 2:45. And we are encouraging everyone to participate in that discussion. So looking forward to everyone being there. I know there's also, I know this was from the last meeting, there was an article in the Business First article pertaining to the South Campus. We clarified that as best as possible. Myself and Chair Stone have been doing a couple of interviews to really clarify some of the conversation about the South Campus, that we are still as South Campus. We are not moving until we are relocated into a new art space. And as you all know, that has to be approved by State Ed, and we have not heard anything about that from State Ed yet. We have been in corresponding with State Ed to clarify some of their questions. I'm very hopeful that we will get some feedback from State Ed But as you also know, that we have programs at South that we are going to teach out of the South campus. Another thing that we talked about with the Senate leadership is really to do a letter specifically to the Southtown community, particularly to the superintendents there, to talk. So I have a letter that was put together to send to the superintendents about us being there in our program and to make sure that everyone knows that we are still present at the South campus. So more on that. With that, let me hand it to Eric to talk a little bit about enrollment and as well as the retention effort that we're putting together for this semester. So Eric?
Good afternoon, everyone, and good luck with the remainder of the fall 2024 semester. I know how busy this time is right after midterm grades and getting everything wrapped up for the end of the fall semester. Thank you, Dr. Sagai. So an update here for the fall 2024 in terms of enrollment. Kathy and the IRAP team did a tremendous job being able to report what's called our early student survey to SUNY as part of our CIRRUS report. Those numbers have been vetted and approved. So at this time for the fall 2024 semester, looking at credit hours or FTEs, incoming students were up about 3% compared to last year. Our continuing returning students, so these are our current students, was up about 2% relative to last year. We are seeing a tremendous growth year over year in our concurrent high school enrollment. That's a remarkable opportunity for our faculty that are working directly with students and the instructors in the high schools as an opportunity to talk about the value add of attending SUNY Erie. So overall here this fall semester, we are seeing enrollment gains as it compares to then the prior year in each of our higher education categories at this time.
All right, no problem, thank you. So we need to do the approval of the minutes from October 2024. And so I'll need a motion to approve the minutes. All right, Amy and Jason second, thank you. Are there any questions or comments about the October minutes? Any objections? Come on. Besides Michael Higgins showing up late? All right, so since there are no objections for the October 2024 minutes, we will accept them by consent. All right, so moving on to old business governance, Michael Rio.
Governance still is looking to fill vacancies. We have 6 vacancies, encouraging faculty to come forward. Civic engagement, shared governance, your voice, you need to be here to be heard. Thank you.
Okay, to follow up with Michael, I have received some complaints about the makeup of College Senate and the committees of College Senate, right? We want to have a more diverse body across all categories, and this is the opportunity to do something. There are 6 vacancies where your voice, your department, your area can be here represented, and you have a say. If people don't participate, people don't volunteer, there's really nothing I can do about it, right? It's like getting blood from a stone. So if you want your area represented more at College Senate, you want opportunities to work on our committees, we got 6 open spots. Email myself or Michael Rio, and we'll appoint you for the rest of the academic year. Marianne? Yeah, sorry, you got to go to the mic.
Yeah, I think it's important that you mentioned that we don't have all departments represented. I know a lot of people, but I don't know everybody. Maybe it will help if you let us know what departments aren't, and those of us that are comfortable could invite our colleagues to join, because sometimes people feel like they're an outsider and they need a little encouragement to come and participate. So kind of if you give that earshot out, we can help you out with that.
Great. Michael, do you have the list of the area? But while he looks that
You
up
can
real
email
quick.
it. Just
Well, I'll
send it
just
later.
say, but also like, because they are at the middle of the year, we'll just make them as at-large positions to fill out the remainder of the school year. So they can be from any department. We have reached out to the individual departments that don't have representation, but you want to say what they are
Yeah,
real quick?
I can reach out to those departments again. Those departments were, that list was submitted in last minutes, which can be accessed through the Senate website. I don't have that in front of me right now, but we have a couple of liberal arts for sure vacancies, and one at-large vacancy, and I believe a part-time non-teaching vacancy. But again, those are in the minutes from last Senate meeting.
Perfect. Thank you, Michael. I know I'm having a hard time pulling them up. And we have included that in the monthly meeting recap that goes out as well. But it does not have to be from those particular departments at this point. They can be at large so that we can have full representation. So it can be anyone, any area. Come participate. Come let your voice be heard. We are going to move over the strategic enrollment unless, is there anything you would like to add, Erickson?
Yeah, if I can, this is an important time for us also to start recruiting then for the upcoming academic year 25-26. So we do kick off our open houses today at City Campus from 4 to 6. Tomorrow will be at South from 4 to 6, and Thursday is at North Campus 4 to 6. So thank you to the Senate for advertising this over the last 2-3 meetings. I did want to talk about that our student RSVPs, which are the number of students who've clicked on our Workday URL and registered for these events, is up this semester compared to last semester. So I do want to thank the admissions team, to Angelica and the marketing team. The admissions team I know worked very hard during consortium as well as in the high schools to help promote this event. We're seeing about 16% increase in headcount RSVPs at this point compared to last year. So very exciting time as it talks about the open house. A few recommendations to the overall college community at the open house event. Please make sure that we're working, as we always have, with our students about building trust and how we're a partner in their future and how it is that SUNY Erie is a part of their academic pursuits and professional endeavors. The value of SUNY Erie, certainly in terms of getting a degree with little to no debt, career success, and being specific about how it is that we can help students in terms of their pursuits, as well as goals that we'll be able to help them to obtain. I mentioned about our fall enrollment numbers, so happy to take any inquiries about those. I did want to speak a little bit about for fall of 2025. The applications are already open at this time. We did benefit, I would argue, from the SUNY Free Application Week. Applications for fall 25 are trending similar to where they were for fall of 2024, which, just as I highlighted, we did see increases this semester relative to last semester for incoming students. Looking at spring registration, I think that's our greatest opportunity here throughout the college community. Please encourage students in each of your classes. If you're working with students in the student support departments, please make sure that all of our students are registered before they leave for the fall semester. It is critical that before they leave that those students are registered. So that right now is our biggest opportunity, I would say, to influence our spring 25 semester enrollment.
Great, thank you. And as a reminder, everyone probably is sick of hearing me say this every semester, but I offer extra credit to my students if they show me their schedule for the spring. 5 points. It doesn't actually do anything really mathematically to their grade, but students love that 5 points. So I have them send me a screenshot of their spring schedule, and they get 5 points. If they're graduating, send me a little screenshot of the graduation little certification. If you're transferring, send me a little thing showing me that you're transferring, right? So equal opportunities for all. Easy 5 points, and then it also allows me as a general studies advisor to have that conversation with them and maybe help them a little bit to register and get that conversation going. So highly encourage everyone to get their students registered before the spring, because that's how we'll keep our retention rates up. Academic standards, Amy Yoder.
Good afternoon, everyone. Not a whole lot to report. We had a brief meeting this morning. Our NA committee will be meeting again. We're just shoring up numbers from the fall. So what we wanted to see was an increase in percentages of faculty and adjuncts that reported their third week rosters based on some modifications and changes that we made. And so we're very hopeful that we'll see an increase in those numbers. The other 2 points that we have on the agenda, the Student Code of Conduct and the Adjudication Committee, we're still looking for help. Surprise, surprise. So if you don't want to make a huge commitment to other things, this is not a heavy lift. We want, additional sets of eyes on some of these policies that we're working on. I have looked at these ad nauseum for months on end, so I appreciate different perspectives and different looks at things. The heavy lift is done. There's a working draft, so it's really helping the college as a whole. So if you're interested, please reach out to myself or Colleen Quinn.
Great. Thank you, Amy. And that, to go back to my previous point about complaints on makeups of committees and things, that all the committees look the same. There's opportunities. You do not have to be a senator to participate in these academic standards committees, right? We need diverse representation across the college. We need health sciences. We need social science. We need more than general studies and math and English on these committees, right? Because there are things that are in those other areas that I don't know about that they know about, right? And we only know by talking together and reviewing these things together. So another opportunity to participate. And as Amy said, we already have the working drafts done, so the heavy lift is done. Now we just need your eyes and your expertise. Academic integrity, Dr. Sabrina Kane.
We haven't had our meeting yet for this month because everything's a little off due to the holiday. But where we're at is that we have completed the definition of academic integrity and passed that on to the Code of Conduct Committee. And we're wrapping up our work for the time being. We're going to be getting together a series of best practices. It's like 99.9% ready for prime time. And we're also going to be collaborating at the next meeting with the AI committee so that the two committees work on AI breaches of academic integrity will dovetail with each other, and we won't be sending out mixed messages.
Great. Just leave your mic on. You got the next two. All right, assessment committee with Dr. Kane.
Okay, so assessment committee is that we are now starting to get assessments on our new Brightspace site, and we've evaluated some of them, and everything is happy and fun and cute little lambs with blue fur over at the assessment committee for a change. So, but please do get those program competency assessments in, because we have a tendency to kind of forget about assessment in between middle states chasing us around with a cattle prod. So let's not do that this time. Let's all get our assessments. The system is now much, I think, more user-friendly than it has ever been.
Thank you, Sabrina. Absolutely. Just because middle states isn't knocking on our door doesn't mean we stop doing assessment, right? And if we continue to do the assessment and hit our goals, it's going to make life a whole lot easier later on. All right, Teagle Planning Grant. Dr. Kane.
Okay, and so next week, Thursday, is our half-day retreat from noon to 4 p.m. at the city campus, the President's Boardroom. And we'll start out with some refreshments and networking at noon, and then we are going to have a presentation from Dr. Patrick Kenny from Onondaga Community College. He'll be talking a little bit about what they did with their Teagle grant, and I will give an update on what our team has put together so far. And then the rest of the afternoon will be some heavy workshopping on the enduring questions that we're going to be using to frame the Teagle grant, which will hopefully be renewed and implemented next year. And so I want to let everybody know that, if you're just interested in it and you're not sure about it, at this point you're not committing to anything. But if you come to the retreat and you attend one of our WebEx sessions that is going to be held numerous times during December and January to talk about the list of transformative text, that there is a $100 stipend. So just as a little added incentive there. But I think the big incentive is that this is an exciting program that is going to allow us to connect general education classes thematically around enduring questions and transformative texts. I think if you're already teaching primary source material in classroom, that this is not that much of a heavy lift, and it's just going to be a great way to collaborate with colleagues and really fire up our students about the subject material. And I would especially like to encourage anyone in general education classes who's in the STEM fields that there is a place for you too. And we're not looking for you to be able to do a whole lot, but just by adding a couple of readings that you can tie back into your subject area to show how the STEM fields and the fields of humanities are actually interconnected and really important to each other.
Awesome, thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Sabrina? Okay, great, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Kathy Klesto.
I just wanted to know where the blue colored sheeps are, because I would like to see them.
Maybe they're in my head. I've been doing this job too long.
Any other? Okay. So mental health resolution, that was last month. Kelly Nunks had a last minute thing come up, so she couldn't be here to talk about it. I'll give you a brief little update. So the resolution was a great conversation starter. And so what we ended up having, even despite asking for volunteers for people to be on a committee to review the resolution, that didn't happen. So Colleen Ongst, myself, Amy Yoder, Dan Frontera, and Amy Spahn have a little 5-person group, and we are working through the resolution to rewrite the resolution to have it ready for December. We met last week, and I'm going to call on Amy Yoder for any other little updates about it. Little preview.
Yeah. So I think that the intentions of the resolution and the conversations that we had are all coming from a good place. We want to be able to help our students in the best way possible and give them resources that we have accessibility to. So with that and having some robust conversations, we want to expose everyone through this resolution of opportunities that we actually do have and that we can either enhance or implement as soon as possible. So it was a really great conversation. We'll have a wonderful draft for the College Senate to review next month, which is awesome. I just want to give a little kudos to Sabrina Kane. Sabrina is on this agenda 3 times, and every single time you ask for help, she steps up and does it, and does her work very well. So kudos to you, Sabrina, for being an amazing faculty member to not only your students, but also your colleagues as well.
Awesome. I concur. Thank you, Amy, and thank you, Sabrina. Questions about the mental health resolution? All right, it's something to look forward to for December. It's exciting. All right, new business. The Faculty Council of Community Colleges had a plenary earlier, well, last month now, right, because it's November, so it was in October. Jackie, do you want to share?
Yes, okay, yeah, so this year's plenary for the Faculty Council of Community Colleges welcomed the new leadership and planning of our new president, Candace Fasten. We spent the 2-day event meeting with SUNY administrators, including the SUNY chancellor, and yeah, we had like a nice fireside chat type discussion with the SUNY chancellor, which was very productive. And as usual, all the delegates and alternates that attended worked tirelessly in our committees to develop resolutions for endorsements. So I figure we'll just go ahead and look at the resolutions.
All right. So we're going to jump to the resolutions. There are 3 resolutions that are coming out of Faculty Council of Community Colleges. They are all posted on the site. The first one is the importance of early engagement of shared governance groups in policy development.
Yeah, I can speak to them if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, if we could,
we
just
pull
to, yes, please.
Oh, there's it.
And then I don't know if we want to vote on these individually or just as a group, or if we'll decide.
Let's do a motion. Can I have a motion to approve all three together? Tom Webb, second. Ashley, thank you. Any objections to approving all three and one fell swoop? All right, with no objection, we will go through all three. We'll have a discussion, and we'll look to possibly approve all three at once. Great, thank you, Jackie.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so this is the, can't see it, it's the Academic Affairs Committee.
Oh, that was huge.
Yeah, sorry, everyone. I don't have, my microphone is missing the, like, something soft on it, so I keep breathing aggressively into it, so I just apologize for that. I'm going to figure out how far away I need to be from it by the time I'm done talking, so. Okay, so the academic affairs, let's see, the importance, this the one. Yes, okay. The Academic Affairs Committee passed this resolution on the importance of early engagement of shared governance and policy development. This resolution was developed in response to Chancellor John B. King Jr.'s announcement on June 4th, 2024, which detailed changes that would be made to general education to include a new civil discourse competency, which has since been changed to civic discourse. In this resolution, the FCCC is urging Chancellor King to prioritize the involvement of elected delegates in the earliest stages of the development of academic policies, and asking that SUNY initiatives tapped into faculty expertise like the Civil Discourse Fellows, but not to the exclusion of the duly elected faculty shared governance representation. And the FCCC calls on Chancellor King to empower the SUNY provost to form a SUNY group to address general education concerns as a collaborative group with representation from faculty, Council of Community Colleges, as well as the Association of Chief Academic Officers, University Faculty Senate, Student Assembly, and other stakeholders to participate in the creation of all changes to policies and/or guidelines that concern general education.
Does anyone have questions on this resolution? Go to, let's see, the funding?
Yeah, sure, from the executive committee.
All right, so this is the funding resolution?
Yes, okay, so this resolution came out of our executive committee calling for equitable funding for community colleges in New York State. SUNY's 30 community colleges are in a unique position to address the increasing needs of both recent high school graduates and adult learners seeking to enhance their academic skills and employment opportunities. And yet, the community colleges still lag far behind in state funding compared to state-operated campuses. And this hinders the ability the community colleges have to provide an equal education to all students regardless of economic status. So the New York Community College Association of Presidents and the New York Community College Trustees have both publicly called on New York State legislators to provide equitable funding for New York's community college students. And with this resolution, the FCCC is calling for a more equitable funding model for New York's community college students. And the FCCC joins the New York Community College Association of Presidents and the New York Community College Trustees in calling on New York State legislators to commit to the following, yes, you have them up there, increases in the 2025-2026 state budget.
Okay. Ashley?
A question on the third bullet on that last
Sure.
paragraph, $30 million to cover operating losses of high needs program. Can you explain what that entails?
Let me see here. $30 million to cover operating losses of high-need programs such as nursing and advanced manufacturing. Okay, so I can do a couple of things here. I can try and infer a meaning from this, right? Or I can put your question back to the authors of the resolution for maybe a more detailed response. I also can do both. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I also can do both, which is basically what I'm going to try to do. What I can infer from this is we're requesting funding that will cover the various losses that individual community colleges accrue by running programs such as nursing programs. But if you'd like more details with regards to how 30 million is going to be an appropriate amount for the exact losses that have been measured, I can get those details as soon as possible. I don't have them on me.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions about the funding? All right. And term limits for temporary executive level vacancies in community colleges is the third.
Yes, third and last, almost done. Okay, so this resolution comes out of the governance committee they developed a resolution to provide definitions and term limits for temporary executive level vacancies at community colleges. So since the SUNY Community College Presidential Search Guidelines were updated June 2023, established the process for appointing temporary presidential leadership at community colleges. The titles for temporary presidential leadership, as well as the expectations and limitations for the authority assigned to the various titles, they were not clearly defined, and they did not clearly state guidelines. So the FCCC calls upon the SUNY Board of Trustees to create clear definitions for administrator in charge, interim, acting, and officer in charge for temporary executive level vacancies in community colleges.
All right. Any questions for Jackie about this resolution? Any questions or objections to the three resolutions in general? Okay, so with that, no objections, I'm going to accept all three resolutions as endorsed by consent. So thank you. And thank you for attending the plenary, Jackie. I know it's a lot, and our FCCC delegate it's not a paid position, right? So she doesn't receive any extra money for participating at the state level, at the SUNY level for us and representing SUNY Erie as a college. And which is a great opportunity for SUNY Erie to be in the room with the chancellor and the trustees and everyone else at SUNY system. So thank you for attending and bringing all that back to us. A couple other things that came out of FCCC, Fact 2 awards. We have the document on the site, so I guess this is more of letting you know. We can nominate for awards through Fact 2, through SUNY. Submissions are due December 9th. This is separate from any awards committee that is here at the college. So you as the individual could nominate a colleague, but then you, the individual who's doing the nomination, collects all of the things and submits the application for the awards. All right, so Fact 2, Excellence in Instruction for Community Colleges, Fact 2, Excellence in Instructional Support for Community Colleges, and then Fact 2, Excellence in Administrative Leadership for Community Colleges. So those are the three areas that they're looking for nominations. So again, the information is on the Senate site if you feel that you want to nominate somebody for any of those things. Next is the conversations in the disciplines grants. I don't remember what that was. Stand by. All right, found it. Okay. All right, so This came out of SUNY as well. If the document is not on Senate site, it will be up soon. There is, let's see if I can, I'm going to pull up the webpage. Because that's easier. When is that from? 1022. We got a lot of information sent on October 22nd. That was when we got all the information about Fact 2, and then the conversation in the disciplines. So it's a grants program that provides grants up to $5,000 and $10,000 focused on the 2 pillars established by the Chancellor and the Board of Trustees. So student success and research and scholarship. They're looking for proposals that focus on civil discourse or artificial intelligence. Other topics obviously are welcome, but those are the ones that they are, come on, this link doesn't want to work, because of course it doesn't. Let me try. There it is. All right, so this is a SUNY initiative, conversations in the disciplines. Submissions are due by January 31st. So it's something that as faculty you can apply for, get grants, and have some conversations within different disciplines at the college. So again, this is on the Senate site as well. All right, agenda. Is there anything else, or Kathy, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Conversations and discipline grants, anyone interested in working on those, if you reach out to Crystal Gramsey in the grants office, we're happy to work with you.
Great, thank you. And I think that's it for all the different things that have come out of the Faculty Council of Community Colleges that I have. October, the plenaries in October, so we get a lot of good information out of them. It's also the start of the academic year for 24-25. So there we go. Last month, the student survey was brought up. It was sent out by marketing on the 29th of October. Is Shar here to give an update? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. So the survey information has been sent out by email. It was resent again this morning or this afternoon. So please push it to your students. We really need their responses. The more responses we get, the more accurate our data is, and the more informed we can be with the changes that we can make. So right now we're at about an 8% response rate, which is not great. All right, so now that we know that it's not great, please push it to your students. If there's a day, I'm not saying this happens, but if there's a day that you're about to let your students out 10 minutes early, try to encourage them to take the survey before they leave your classroom, okay? I am personally out, boots on the ground, in students' faces, trying to get them to take the survey. I work City Student as well. SGA is helping us. We have a lot of effort going into this. So please help us and join that effort to get responses. Also, if you're student-facing staff, you can also help. If you have students waiting to see you or waiting for your office hours, whatever it is, encourage them to take it before they see you or after. The more responses we get, the better this will be. So thank you so much for helping encourage students to take this survey. Post it in your Brightspace courses as well if you have not already. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Does anyone have any questions regarding the student survey?
Here we go. Okay.
I brought it up to all my students. I'm offering a couple points of extra credit if they show me a screenshot that they've done it. I gave the big pitch about this is where you get to have your voice heard. When we send it out and you don't respond, we assume that we could just do things without your input. Part of public speaking, English communication, all that stuff. I had one complaint that the gift cards should be a little more, but the big issue was some people had trouble with the QR code, and could we send a link? I don't know if that's an option, but I just want to share.
Yeah, the link is in the email that went to the students, so they've gotten it to their email twice already, and each email also has 2 links within it. So it should be, they should have gotten it multiple times. If they're having,
They're not good at email, and I hound them about that, but could you share the links with the faculty so I could put the link in Brightspace? I put the QR code, but I'd like the link.
absolutely, thank you for that feedback.
Great. Thank you. Is there a way for the faculty and staff to see the questions on the survey? Is that on the QR code?
Yeah,
Like
you
if
should
I
be
were to
able-
do it as a faculty member, could I access the questions to see what they are?
Yes, you need a SUNY Erie login to be able to access the survey. Anyone who takes the survey who is not a current student, this semester, we will be taking their data out. So you can absolutely see all the questions. And I think you can see them all without even clicking through now. So you can check out all of the questions that we're asking about.
Great, thank you. Does anyone have any questions regarding this topic? All right, does anybody have any new business for the College Senate? Wow, we got, oh, Jackie.
Sorry. It's just something about chancellors I wanted to mention really quick, if that's, is this
Yeah,
right?
perfect.
Okay, so regarding the Chancellor's Committee, I just wanted to mention that today we did successfully submit a nomination for the Excellence in Adjunct Teaching Award, which is a great success for our committee. And as I have mentioned in the past, we have several awards that we are preparing to send at the beginning of the spring 2025 semester. If you have been a nominator the last year, someone from our committee will be reaching out to you this week regarding the nomination packet process. So keep an eye out for that email. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Anything else for new business? All right, so at this point, I am going to close the public portion of the College Senate meeting for November. As a reminder, our next meeting is Tuesday, December 10th. And yeah, right at the end of the semester there. So I appreciate everyone that will be here and attend, and I'm sure weather will be gross, so drive careful to that meeting and leave yourself plenty of time. And if you're a few minutes late because of weather, etc., no worries. I will only call Michael Higgins out for showing up late. Everybody else is off the hook. All right, so I will see everybody in December. I'm going to close the public portion of the meeting, and when Bob gives me the go-ahead, we will do for the